Hey y'all, so I was just over on my like page and it was working fine, the video itself, but then it wouldn't allow me to invite my guest on and I was super bummed. So I'm gonna have to go back and figure that out. So I decided, as a special treat, to move my very first interview right here over here on my regular page, and it is working 100%. That is so Stacy. And I see people are getting on this one. So I want to apologize if you were over on the other page and you weren't able to, like totally get to the thing. And I want to say thank you for coming over. Yes. Okay, Elisa. Yes.
I'm sorry.
No, I need to apologize because we practice this. So we like, y'all know me. I'm like
Did.
transparency, but we practice because I was like, I don't want to look like an idiot, and it worked completely on my other page, on this page, but not on my like page. So I'm kind of bummed about that. I'm gonna scooch so that my face is not covering your face. So hopefully, if you were able to get on the other page, I shared a bunch of tips, and I'm just going to do this on my personal page, which is a special treat because I think a lot more people will get to see it because Facebook doesn't always show my like page stuff. So, yeah, so it'll be cool. So welcome, Elisa.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so pumped. So, y'all, I'm going to just clip notes what I said very quickly about my mompreneur interviews right here, and then we're going to dive in because we're running a little late. So one of my goals for 2018 was to start to just branch out to other women, especially other moms who are just like doing the dang thing. They have a passion. They want to help other moms. They want to, maybe make an income for themselves. They want to share tips and give value. And I wanted to reach out and share all of those experts here because I'm not an expert in everything. I'm not an expert in a lot of things, but there are some really great bloggers and other women out there that I know can provide a ton of value. And so I'm so excited. This is my first for the whole year in a very big series, and I am honored to share with you guys Elisa Giorgio from Meal Planning Blueprints. So before I let you introduce yourself a little, I just want to say I met Elisa in July. Can you believe that? That was July.
I know.
So long ago, right?
It doesn't seem like, it kind of seems like we've known each other for years.
Right?
And also that we just met, so.
Yes, that is exactly how I feel. We met in, actually, it was another entrepreneurs group, and it was about a challenge and making products and stuff, and people were looking for accountability partners, and we both kind of saw each other's posts and connected.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things, that we connected about. We're both Christian bloggers. There was a lot about what she said that really resonated with me, and I told her, like, I just feel like she's like one of those people God put in my life to just, I don't know. He knew. He was like, let's do this. And so since then it's been awesome. She's been such an amazing mentor without maybe realizing how much she's been able to impact me on this blogging journey. Like, I would never have been able to get my blog up as quickly as I did without messaging her a million times. And she knows so much about just meal planning and everything that kind of goes into this. So she's going to give you guys so much value. And so first, thank you for being just a great friend.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you. But start with telling everybody a little bit about you and your family.
Sure. So like Kara said, my name is Elisa, and I blog full-time from home. I have two boys. You might want to sit down. So one of them is 21 and one of them is 4. So very big gap in between, but they are both an absolute joy and keep it very interesting every single day, every day. So I did the working full-time outside the office thing in finance for many, many years. And now I'm stay at home / work at home / own my own business. Mom, so I've kind of been in both roles, so I feel like I have a decent grasp on busy moms in general,
right,
and what it takes. So, but that's me in a nutshell. I love coffee, I love books, the same mom stuff that we all kind of enjoy.
Yeah, super mom over there. That's amazing.
No.
So then, how did you go and get started into blogging?
I've always had this entrepreneurial spirit, and no, sorry, buddy, not right now. I should have warned you guys that my 4-year-old is awake and will probably interrupt every once in a while.
And that's that
Go.
mompreneur life. That's another reason, guys. I want to say, if you like are looking to work from home, or make money from home as a mom, like find a community of other like moms like you, because you just get
Yeah.
it. Like me and Elisa, like we Voxer, which is a walkie-talkie app, like all day pretty much, and you just hear our kids in the background, but we get it. You know, like we understand. So it's the best part. And anybody on here is really used to kids interrupting everything, so it's okay.
Yeah, you can totally just tune out. If you can tune out your own kids, you can tune out other people's
Right?
kids, right? um, so what did you ask me? I'm so sorry.
How you got into blogging?
Oh, yes. So I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I've always wanted to own my own business. I have dabbled in direct sales, and I was just on a fluke, came across somebody's website with an income report, and it was Abby from Just a Girl and her blog, and she makes a ton of money on her blog. And it was just like, I didn't even know blogging was a thing. I didn't know you could make money. I knew nothing about it. So that kind of started, what do you mean you can actually like make a full-time income from home? So I just started looking into it, and then slowly learning more. Okay, good job. Learned more and more, and now it's a year and a half later, and I have meal planning blueprints.
It's awesome. All right, so let's talk about meal planning then. What got you into meal planning? Got you focused on meal planning?
In general, I was working full time, and I had a teenager at home. He was involved in sports, and our life was just really crazy busy. And you just end up looking for solutions at that point. Like, how can I save time on laundry? And how can I save time on cleaning the house? And how can I save time here or there? And I love to cook, so meal planning I always thought was really confining.
Mm-hmm.
But when I realized it was just kind of an organization tactic,
Right.
I didn't realize how much time it would actually save me. Because I think that meal planning is the number one way to save time throughout your day. Because let's face it, we all eat like 3 times a day, or at least our kids eat. Well,
Right.
they eat like 25 times a day. But when you manage something that controls such a big portion of your day, then the other little stuff like laundry doesn't seem like that big of a deal anymore.
Right.
So manage the big things and start with the big things instead of the little things.
That's smart. And it's so true, because last night I hadn't planned out what I was going to have for dinner. Like, I had an idea. I was like, yeah, you know, I'll have a protein. I didn't plan. And I just sharing on the other page that I went to that website, supercook.com, because I spent 45 minutes maybe, like, throughout like the day, like while I was like nursing or cleaning or trying to find a recipe, and then trying to think, do I have the ingredients? What am I doing? And I wasted so much time that I could have been doing all the other things that I needed to do, because I honestly, like, I'll be honest, y'all, like, I did make a meal plan that was really good this week. So I was just like staring into space, like, what am I going to do? So when it comes to the moms you work with and moms in general, what do you think their biggest struggle is with meal planning?
There's 2 things that I hear most often, and one is just not knowing what to make, so they don't even start. And then the other is having the picky eater situation, or making multiple meals, trying to get something that everybody likes. And meal planning, doing it ahead of time, will help with both of those, because let's face it, you are making something at the end of the day. Or you're ordering something, or you're pulling something out of the freezer. You're eating something, even if it's a bag of popcorn and a yogurt.
Right.
So if you plan it ahead of time, then you can kill both of those birds.
Can I ask you?
Sorry.
You made me think of something we talk about picky eaters, because there's like 2 camps, I feel like, with parents when it comes to picky eaters. You know, like, I grew up like, this is dinner, you eat it or you don't. And then there's, you know, you want your kid to eat. And now as a mom, I feel like sometimes I'm in both camps. I'm like, no, this is what I made you eat it. But then I'm like, oh my God, I haven't ate anything. Just eat this pouch. I don't even care, because you need to eat some, right? Like, that's how you get.
Yes.
I was just wondering, you're like, as a mom, where you kind of stood on that one?
I will say that nothing is 100%. So you don't have to follow one or the other 100% to a T. I would say 90% of the time, dinner is take it or leave it. You want to go to bed hungry? Go for it.
Yeah.
You're not, unless your child has a health issue or something that prevents that, it's not going to kill them to go to bed hungry. my child is so stubborn that he couldn't care less if he goes to bed hungry 5 nights a week. He just doesn't want to eat what is made.
Right.
He doesn't have to. So I kind of go with the breakfast and lunch is a little bit more flexible, and I will tailor what I'm making to their likes. But dinner is...
Breakfast and lunch is brunch.
I know, breakfast and lunch is brunch. Thank you.
There we go. Tweetable.
And you've heard it. But dinner is one meal for everyone. And sometimes they get to pick. Sometimes it's what my 4-year-old wants for dinner versus what other people want for dinner. But yeah, I'm gonna take it or leave it, Mom. I am.
No, it's good to know where people fall, and I agree. I think it's one of those where dinner, especially, I do the same. Like, more flexible in the mornings, and then dinner's like, it is what it is. But I also am one of those, like, pick my battles types of people. So, like, if I know I want something, but I know my kids aren't going to eat it, I might wait a little bit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you're watching, let us know. Are you a take it or leave it, or where do you fall? Nicole says I'm take it or leave it, not have a banana. There we go. They're eating something too. All right. Well, what do you think when it comes to moms, like, and when they think about meal planning? We talked about, like, their biggest struggle, but what do you think is their biggest misconception when they think, like, meal planning?
Probably that it's difficult and going to be time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
When really you can make it as simple or as difficult as you want to, but the time consuming part, I feel like that is the biggest misconception, because it actually saves you time throughout the week. So yes, you might take an hour on Sunday at first, and it gets easier the more often you do it, but you might take an hour and meal plan, but it saves you more than an hour during the week. And I don't think moms especially realize how much time we devote to thinking about food.
Oh my God, everything.
What we're feeding our families.
Yeah.
Like, it just the mental space that it takes to think about what's for dinner, let alone the stress level of at 4:30, you're like, oh crap, dinner, forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not even that, just did I do this? Did I do that? Do I have this? Like, it just takes a lot out of you during the day that if you had it planned, you wouldn't be spending that time on.
Yeah. I found the one thing that drives me the craziest for myself is I don't read recipes all the way through. And then I get to cook something and I'm like, oh, I needed cooked chicken. And that's what happened to me twice in the past month. I needed cooked chicken. I didn't cook chicken. I was like, I guess we're not eating that. So it's another part of it. All right. So you talk all about this capsule pantry system, which is super cool. And I think I need to adopt it in my life. So tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. Don't mind me. I'm looking for my charger for my phone. Hang on. I have to get up for a second.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
I thought I was fully charged.
It's cool. I'm going to go to comments here. Yes, and we heard Nicole's. Angie says, I know they don't like it. I offer something else. But I love to eat it anyway. Oh, okay. Yeah, so you make something you like, and you're like, whatever, I'll give them something else. Yeah, that's like that flexibility in parenting. Where, like we made this banana curry I was talking about on my other page, and it was so good. But I had a feeling already was to eat it, and I made it anyway because I really did. I was like,
Sorry,
and I had to work around other things, that worked best for her. If anyone has any recommendations on, like, picky toddlers with chicken, this girl would not eat chicken to save her life. So eggs and yogurt are our only protein.
Oh yeah, my 4-year-old doesn't eat chicken here either.
Won't do it. She loved it, and now she's like, nope, not about it. But she'll eat any of the sauces. So there we go. That's a win.
So the capsule pantry, I have recently been on a big uncluttering, getting rid of stuff bandwagon, shall we say. And that's where the capsule pantry was born. I thought, like, oh, well, I've got this capsule wardrobe thing going on where I have, only clothes that I love and wear all the time and all of my favorite kind of things. We could probably do that with food and with the pantry. So it's basically a concept of you have your list of pantry, and when I say pantry, I'm including refrigerator and freezer items, but your list of food that you're working off of, and all of those intertwine with each other to make your big master list of recipes, kind of like that unlimited combination of clothes when you're mixing and matching clothes. It's kind of like a mix and match situation.
Right. So how do you keep that organized when you sit down to do your meal planning? Can you give us a little couple steps on how you do it?
So I start with my favorites, our favorite recipes as a family. And I kind of, on one side, I have the recipes, and on the other side, I have what ingredients. So I just, as I'm jotting them down, like, okay, we love chicken tortilla soup. What do I need for that? Okay, we love taco pasta. What do I need for that? And then if things overlap, I'm just kind of putting a little X next to them, knowing that I need more, that particular ingredient works for more than one recipe. So then when I'm looking at it, I can kind of say, oh, okay, like all of these items I use in more than one recipe, but then this one I don't. So let's take that one out of the mix. And that's how I kind of edit it.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that makes sense. I have a detailed blog post on this that probably makes a lot more sense than me trying to explain it in 10 seconds, but it's starting with what you like to eat, because that's what it's supposed to be designed around, what you love to eat as a family. And then the ingredients needed for those. And then that's your master grocery list.
Yeah, and we'll link to that blog post too. I'm gonna type these up and put a link in my post. We'll put the link in the comments. So I can,
Okay.
As you're talking about this, I just am imagining how much money you could probably save when you're making a meal plan this way. Because I was saying before, like, I can't stand when I have to get like a one-off item or like one of something. It drives me crazy because it's just so much more expensive, right? You're like running to the store for something you forgot.
Yeah.
Or you have to go to a specialty store. So can you talk about how this helps save money at the same time?
It does. And you know me, I am not a diehard extreme couponer or anything like that. I go for simplicity over saving pennies. Mm-hmm. However, I do love to save money, especially on groceries, obviously. But since that's the second biggest chunk of where our money goes for the most part, likely it's your housing. Second is your food. So there's two things. One is that you can you can kind of keep track. So now you have a master grocery list that you're having for a couple of months. So you can watch prices in your area for sales. You learn, you'll get a good grasp on how much something is all the time, so that you know whether it's a good price or not. And then the other is just having that limited pantry helps you say no to things, and helps you say no to things you're spending money on that you're not going to use or is going to be wasted, that kind of thing. So you can say, like, you can look at that recipe that has that one-off item and be like, oh, nope. And that's just, you don't even have to sit there and really think about it. It's just, nope, that's not in my pantry. It's not going to be in my pantry anytime soon. So we're getting rid of that.
Cool. I think I found the right one, but I linked the blog post while you were explaining it a little bit more about Capsule Pantry. So then talk about how this helps a little bit though with having variety, because that's one of the biggest holdups. And I know that you are really big on using theme nights for planning dinners and stuff. So could you kind of like tie all that in for us on how like this also helps you, use the theme nights to plan for the week, or even like
Sure. I use both in conjunction, but first I'll tackle your variety question. I think that that's the biggest fear of people that are meal planning so far in advance, that, I'm not going to feel like having that, or there's not enough variety in 1 month worth of meals. But really you're making, you're having a list of 35 meals. No. Go, please. You've got, the way that I teach it anyway is that you end up with 35 meals that you and your family loves. So there's no repeating on that list of 35. So you're basically only eating that one meal once a month. And I bet whether you like it or dislike it, you could eat the same meal once a month and not feel like you're being gypped.
Yeah,
or that
tons of variety.
Right. So you have a lot of variety. Plus there's not 35 days in a month. So you're going to have a few leftovers that say you didn't make last month. You can kind of roll them over into your new month. Plus you don't probably cook every night.
Right.
So having this master list of 35 meals really can adapt to how you want. You're not going to feel like you're eating the same things
all
the time. Now, how I use theme nights in that. So theme nights, you can use theme nights a few different ways, but I do use it in the Capsule Pantry and also separately because it's just a way to narrow down your decision making. And that's the biggest hurdle with meal planning is you've got, especially now with Pinterest and food blogs, it's not just
You get
go to
lost.
your, it's not like just go grab a cookbook and find something that you like. It's like, hey, what are we going to have for dinner tonight out of the 300,000 recipes that are on Pinterest tonight? So theme nights, like, I mean, we're all familiar with Taco Tuesday, right? Or Macaroni Monday, Meatless Monday, things like that. I have a list of, it says 42. I think there's even more than 42 because I keep adding to it on there. But so I use that list to kind of narrow it down. So you can say, okay, well, Mondays is going to be meatless, let's just say. So now you got a smaller group of meals to look for, right?
Mm-hmm.
And narrow it down even further. If you've got vegetarian meals you're looking for, but maybe your main protein for that night or your main staple or whatever is portobello mushrooms. So now you have something really specific to search for. It just makes that decision-making process so much easier when you're trying to find what to make. And that's the hardest.
Yeah, because I think we do Taco Tuesday like Wednesday and Thursday. We do it every day. Like all we eat is tacos over here. We really like tacos and they're easy to make. But I know that they can get boring. And on the weeks where I actually get a little more creative and pick something different, I always have like Dean is always like, oh man, this was really good. Oh, you made something different. And I always dread, I don't know about anyone else, but I dread like when he asks me every night, like, so what's for dinner? And I don't even want to answer because I know he's going to be disappointed. I mean, he's 11, right? So he just wants like pizza or whatever. But I know that no matter what I say at this point, because I'm not that great at the meal planning yet, he's always like, oh, unless I say something, I know he really likes shrimp fried rice and tacos. So like, unless I say those two things, if I tried anything else, he'd be like, oh. And I hate that. Like, I want it to be fun. I want him to be excited about it. And he is starting to love to cook. So I want to involve him more. And so I really want to look at your list for your theme nights, and I'm going to share it now, and I'll share it at the end. But Elisa is kind enough; she gave us a free offer for everybody who's on right now, and it is those lists of those theme nights. So that link is going to go up right now, and I'll put it up again. So make sure you go and grab that at some point if you have to hop off the live or at the end, because it's really going to help. I was looking at it before, and I was like, so many ideas past Taco Tuesday, you know, that you just like get so stuck on the same thing. All right, so if I'm a mom, I'm listening to you, and you're talking about this really awesome way that I can meal plan, but I don't want to get overwhelmed. Like, what is the first action step that I could take right now to just start to conquer my meal planning a little bit?
I would just say write down 5 things that your family loves, everyone. So everyone in your family loves, because we're trying to make it simpler. We're not trying to make more meals for everybody.
Right.
So 5 things that everyone loves that you can make with your eyes closed.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
And that's what you're making next week. And then next week, you're going to expand on that and maybe find a few things that are similar. So now that you have your list of what your family loves, and then find another 5 that maybe use a few different ingredients. And like you were saying, your 11-year-old doesn't always love, or you're kind of dreading, get the kids involved. Like, they love to have a choice in what's eating. Get them involved and make a night. They could even have their own night where they pick what's for dinner. Or if you have multiple kids, you swap it off like that.
No, I like that idea a lot. Just letting him pick what's for dinner. At least once a week would be really good, you know, and then picking recipes. Because even he saw a commercial the other day. It was for something at Red Lobster. And he was like, I want Red Lobster. And I was like, we're not going to Red Lobster. And so he was like, I'm going to cook you and Daddy dinner. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, we need to make a list of all the ingredients you need and like go to the store. And he has like all this extra Christmas and birthday money. He was like, because he was like, I want lobster. I was like, no. And so he's like, well, I have all this extra. I have extra Christmas money left. I'll pay for it and buy you guys. I was like, oh,
that's cute.
Yeah, wasn't I? I was like, all right, sure. And like get him a little apron and stuff. So I love that. Okay, cool. So let me ask you then. you know, where can people find more about the Capsule Pantry theme nights, and where can they start to follow you? Because I'm sure that there are a lot of my moms on here who are like, tell me more about how to make this easier for me.
Sure. So my website is mealplanningblueprints.com. That is also my handle for Facebook and Instagram, and Pinterest is, I think if you search that, you'll still come up with me, but my actual Pinterest.com/ is MP Blueprints because it was just too long for their requirements.
Okay, I'm going to type all this in the comments too so you can see it and you can grab it. And definitely head over to some of her Pinterest stuff because it is really awesome. All of her downloads are just beautiful. But she's got some really great stuff over on Pinterest. All right, so close us out with just one takeaway that if a mom is watching this, like, you want them to remember about meal planning in general.
Yeah. That it saves 5 times more time than it takes. And that's on the low end. So if you're spending an hour meal planning on Sunday, you're probably going to save 5 hours during the week. I'm going to say it's higher than that, but I would say whatever you spend 15 minutes on Sunday, it's going to save you an hour and 15 minutes during the week. So I would say 5 times.
That's good. So don't get overwhelmed, y'all. Like, just know that it may take a little bit. And I'm sure in the beginning, I know for me, each week when I try to do a new meal plan, I'm like a little clunky and I'm like trying to figure it out. But it's one of those routines and systems that you get. So I'm going to put the sheet. Go get this theme night sheet. It's in the comments again. Go grab that right now. Don't wait so that you have it. And head over and check out all of her stuff because it's amazing. So thank you for everybody who was on. Elisa, thank you so much. This is so much fun.
Thank you.
Sorry,
thank you for having me.
So know that later we're definitely going to have to figure this out another way. So
figure it out.
Do me a solid though, moms. If you're watching this and you got like one nugget that you were like, this is amazing, afterwards, put it in the comments so we know. And do me a favor and share it over on your page because it's the best way to share the information. Thanks everybody for your time. And thank you, Elisa, again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.